All right, next up is another Series 5 BotBot. This is Data Dump. He is part of not the Techie team, because they don't have Techie team in this one, but the Retro Replays. So that was one of the teams added in Series 4, and they're continuing it on with Series 5. Turns into a little computer system here with a keyboard and a mouse, screen, and speakers. Alt mode, yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag. I'd like it a lot more if they did something to conceal his face, but as it is, they're just like, oh, his face is a screen. A screen could have anything on it. Why wouldn't it have a face? So it's a little strange in this mode. He's one of those guys that, looks very similar in both of his modes. But otherwise, the detail is really great. I love the mouse here. It is on this section that can pop off a little bit easily, and I think that's intentional, because he's got these other holes on here, like one right here and one right here, that also fit the mouse. So I think that they're trying to give you the option to kind of vary where it goes in the robot mode. Like you could stick it in there to have it kind of sitting up further over his shoulder. I generally just keep it in this one because I think that's where it looks best in both modes. But yep, to transform him, he's got his legs underneath here. You just fold them out. You take the mouse, and if you want to, you can put it in the other sections, but I just rotate it up so it's kind of sitting over his shoulder. The arms, you just fold out from underneath here. And then, this is kind of an optional step. It is like in his display picture, they have him with this thing out, but you don't really need it. There's this little compartment up here that is really difficult to get a grip on unless you have very tiny fingers. Got it. Perfect. And then you just slide it out, and it has this little, outgoing call or loading bar or something like that. And that is what his robot mode is supposed to look like. Truthfully, that's such a pain to get out, and I don't really think it improves either mode. So I usually just leave it compressed in. So that would normally like take points away for the transformation for me, because like it's such an annoyance to get that out of there. But since I don't really think it's necessary, I'm probably not going to dock him on that. Articulation wise, his arms are on, gosh, are they on ball joints? I think they're just on little swivels here. And then at the elbows, you can also bend him on these ball joints and rotate his hands. So that's pretty cool. Legs wiggle back and forth. And like I said, you can take that mouse, and I like it's kind of like a little like laser shooter over his shoulder, and you could put it up in this one if you want. I don't really think that looks better. I think it looks best here. So I wish it was a bit more securely attached, but there is Data Dump. Yeah, so he's not quite a mixed bag. He's got like a lot of weird issues that are completely avoidable. So I don't know. His robot mode, I think I'm going to give him a 5 out of 5. I really like the way this guy looks. His expression on his face is just so stylistic, and I think it's got a lot of character to it. And I love how he's got the little mouse laser over his corner. I think that's really cool. The alternate mode, it's kind of a tricky one to rate. I think I'm still going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I do ultimately like all the detail that it has, but the face being on the screen, I think, is the one thing that keeps me from making it a full 5 out of 5, or maybe even a 6. So he's going to, get a 4 out of 5 for the alt mode. And transformation, like I said, I would probably dock more if I was counting this thing, but as is, otherwise, it's just a pretty average transformation. So 3 out of 5, which is going to give Data Dump a 12 out of 15, which is going to make him another 4-star bot, which seems to be a pretty common theme for these Series 5 guys that I've looked at so far, at least the ones that I've got. They're pretty cute. I like them a lot. There is Data Dump. Pretty good.